Scharloo is the name of a former plantation at the north side of the Waaigat. The development of this district started in the 18th century when along the Scharloo bank of St. Anna Bay, where now merchandise from Venezuela is unloaded, owners of shipyards started to build large Baroque mansions next to the harbor. Supported by iron struts, this once magnificent Baroque mansion is still awaiting repair. The opulent decorated columns of the interior of the house were part of the former drawing room which served as a synagogue of Ashkenazi Jews from Eastern Europe before World War II. Dormers with old-fashioned sloping roofs are part of a typical alley where houses were built for people who worked at shipyards close to the port in the 18th century. Around the corner of the alley is the hidden entrance of the charming Hotel Scharloo. The interior radiates a comfortable and cozy atmosphere. Above from the balcony is an excellent view towards the Waaigat quays, where supply of fresh fruit from Venezuela is unloaded from trucks onto small boats and paddled to the floating market in Punta. Next to the wharf is an 18th century Curacao Baroque mansion which has been the home of a prosperous shipyard owner. Nowadays, the building houses the Maritime Museum of Curacao. 500 years of maritime history of the island is on display in a surprisingly modern interior. Villa Maria is the name of this grand former neoclassical residence. It was built at the end of the 19th century by a well-known dentist, Dr. David Ricardo, after he lost his property in Pietermaaie during the Great Hurricane of 1877. Further in Scharloo, mansions were built on the bank of the Waaigat in the 18th century. One of these houses, Pachi de Sola, named after a gentleman who lived here, has been the civil registry office for some time. It was a nice setting for wedding parties. The large gable has heavy curls and a pinnacle on top. The steps are paved with original Dutch yellow bricks called IJsselsteentjes and decorated with finger coral. Until recently, this mansion was not used by its owners for a long time. Nevertheless, the furniture was still in place. There was a ballroom with antique furniture and a large decorative mirror. Water was very precious on the island. By way of a system of gutters and an aqueduct, the rainwater flowed into a large cistern which most houses on Scharloo had in those days. Towards the end of the 19th century, elegant neoclassical mansions were built on both sides of the Scharloo Road. They mainly belonged to wealthy Jewish merchants who called themselves people of Scharloo. In the first part of the 20th century, some houses were remodeled in the fashion of the time. This striking mansion, built in 1916, popularly called the Bride's Cake, was a wedding gift. It is said to be a copy of the former Spanish embassy in Caracas. The monument now houses the National Archives. It is the only building on Curacao with decorated ceilings. These fine decorations were painted by the Venezuelan artist Damper. In this wonderful villa, the representation of the government of the Netherlands for the autonomous countries Curacao, Aruba and St. Martin is located. It was the house where George Maduro was born in 1916. He became a Curacao Jewish resistance hero during World War II. A typical Mediterranean feature of the classical Scharloo villas are the open patios in the center of the house to keep the living areas cool. Some terraces have marble tile floors where local artwork comes into its own. Trees have been well taken care of, allowing the foliage to provide a cooling shade. One of the most beautiful patios that has been preserved is the former residency where the Department of Culture keeps office. The patio floor is paved with small mosaics forming a geometric design. The walls are decorated with floral and ribbon motifs. On the floor of the covered spaces are special tiles in different patterns and colors. In the 70s of the last century, Scharloo lost its residential function completely, since most merchant houses in this district have been converted into offices or government institutions. However, the beautiful facades of the classical mansions remained as a memory of the former glory and elegance of this district. Due to the presence of the port and related trade and industry, together with a multicultural community, the 4 historic districts of Willemstad developed into a unique city for the Caribbean and beyond.